There are married couples who are not transparent with their finances. They have not even seen each other's payslips. Some of the interesting comments that I picked up was like, this one man said he out earns his wife by multiples and he pays for everything, so why should the woman see his payslip? Another person commented and said, I know a couple where the husband only saw the payslip when they made an offer for their first house and he realized that he was bringing in peanuts. He resigned the next month, claiming the wife can afford them. Hey guys, welcome to a new episode of Wild Financial Stories. My name is Nokuhle, and in this segment of my YouTube channel, I like to tell you guys stories that I've picked up either online or things that I've heard or been told. And I think a lot of us learn better when we hear stories of things that have happened to normal people like you and me, as opposed to like a classroom setting where there's a board and we're writing up equations and all that. So hopefully you learn a lot from this video. If you do, please do let me know in the comments. And if this is your first time on Wild Financial Stories, welcome. I know for a fact you're going to enjoy it because this is honestly always my favorite segment of this channel. All right, let's get into it. I don't want to talk a lot because there's a lot of stories, there's a lot of juice, ndabas, mkosi, so I want us to get straight into it. And let me know, guys, let me know what you think as we're going through these stories. Drop me comments about what you guys think. I'll also obviously tell you what I think of some of these stories. And one thing, guys, we don't judge on this channel, okay? Everyone makes financial mistakes along the way. It is a journey. No one wakes up and they're financially smart or literate or amazing. Even I will make some mistakes, and I'll tell you guys because I can actually relate to one of the stories. But yeah, let's head over into Wild Financial Stories. Cool.
Please remember, these videos do not constitute financial advice. Please do seek a financial advisor for information that is personalized to your life.
Story number 1. Mother loses over 80,000 Rand from bank account. Alright, so I saw a tweet the other day where a person called Nico tweeted, my mother had the worst Mother's Day ever. On Friday, she discovered that the little money she had saved at Capitec Bank SA is all gone. More than 80,000 Rand taken from her bank account via Betway deductions. Betway, the betting app. Cool. She doesn't have a banking app or use cell phone banking. So obviously Nico is heartbroken and expressing his dissatisfaction onto the TL on Twitter. And I think at this point they probably thought it was a bank related issue. Cool. Later on that same day, Nico comes back with an update. Yesterday my mother visited one of Capitec SA branches and found that one of my younger sisters is the one taking money from her account and gambling with it on Betway. My sister lost over 100,000 Rand in gambling. Here is a page of her bank transactions. Guys, I'm smiling right now, but I'm not smiling because of this whole thing, because it's actually traumatic AF. Can you imagine someone is just using the money in your bank account and you don't have the banking app and you don't have like online banking, so you can't even see the money leaving your account slowly but surely. But guys, when you look at these transactions, there's a Betway that goes out for 5,000, right? And this is on the 3rd of April. Then on the 23rd of April, 5,000 again. And then on the 24th, we have another 5,000. And then again on the 24th, so on the same day, another 5,000. One day, this person has spent 10,000 Rand. And guys, thing is, I don't really know how Betway works. I've never really been one who's into gambling because I just think I don't have the best of luck. So I'm not going to risk my hard-earned money on something when I'm not even lucky in winning like small draws or like little competitions on Instagram. So that's just me. Okay, and then we see later on around the 28th, the sister gets really confident and she starts putting in 10,000 Rand, 10,000 twice in one day, so that's 20k. Oh my goodness, this is actually super traumatizing. And then the one day I think she actually even tries to swipe and it's like insufficient funds, and you get charged for insufficient funds. But that was what happened to Nico's mom. And obviously this was sad because it started off as a cry for help, like, oh my word, something is happening, my mom had so much money but someone at the bank is being naughty. And then later on just to realize that actually the scammer is inside the house and it's the sister who's actually using their mom's bank account. So many red flags in this story. Firstly, why are you giving someone your banking details? And obviously I know sometimes not all parents are like clued up and parents trust us, but like just keep your things a secret. You, even as a parent, don't give your kids access to your cards. If they want to buy something, like, you need to allocate it to them, even if you create a virtual card with the set amount. So it's like if they ask for 300 rand, they can only swipe 300 rand. But just be careful, you're not actually meant to be sharing this. And in such instances, Niko's mom can't even cry fraud, because at this point they gave these details to the sister. It's not like it was a random person who hacked into her account and used it on Betway. It was someone within their family. So please guys, be very, very careful. I know Niko had a follow-up update where he was asking us to donate to his mom to soothe her heart, and obviously Tweeps had a field day. They were like, "Hi bo, now you want us to find your sister's Betway habit, blah blah blah." But just be very careful. If you don't have cell phone banking or online banking, and I don't know, maybe it's for your peace of mind, just please make sure that you are still getting your bank statement, even via email or physically. If you just are completely unplugged from the world, make sure you're still getting your bank statement, just to check that the money's in there, because you never know. You could think you have money, but someone is busy doing e-wallets and cash sends because you don't have a profile, and you can't even get notified for every 200 rand that's leaving your account. So wise up. This is your hard-earned money, so don't sleep. Cool. Let's get into the next story. It's not that I want you here. Yeah. It's not the way you say to my eyes. Story number 2. I saw a tweet from the village lawyer Malaki, or Malachi, I don't know how you say it. And this guy basically said there are married couples who are not transparent with their finances. They have not even seen each other's payslips. I swear I'm not making this up. And then obviously this type of conversation on the TL will always stir the pot, and people came forth with their own opinions. And these are some of the things that I picked up. So some people were obviously recommending this, saying that there's no need for partners or spouses to be disclosing their payslips. Whatever I earn is my money, what you earn is your money. As long as the bills are paid, that should be fine. I don't need to know how much my person is making. Some of the interesting comments that I picked up was like, this one man said he out earns his wife by multiples and he pays for everything, so why should the woman see his payslip? Another person commented and said, I know a couple where the husband only saw the payslip when they made an offer for their first house, and he realized that he was bringing in peanuts. He resigned the next month, claiming the wife can afford them. Okay, and then another comment was, most men see their partner's lifestyle and spending habits and decide to hide their real salary. Otherwise, some people never rest until there's nothing left to spend, whereas the other wants to save and have a healthy balance. Okay, so basically what I understood from this is mainly the woman's salary men don't really care about, because they just assume that women don't make much, and then the men will hide their salaries because they assume that their women are reckless spenders, or it's none of their business. As long as I've covered what I said I was going to cover, whatever else is left is for them.
Nah. I'm really starting to doubt that you guys love yourself. Cause how, bro? Kanjani, bro.
But I also want to tell you guys what people have said against this. So why people are saying you should disclose your salary to your partner. And guys, by partner, I really do mean your spouse, like your married partner or your life partner, or someone you've been dating for a long time and you guys see a future together. I'm not saying get into a relationship and 2 months later you guys are showing each other payslips. No, I don't think people need to know you like that so early. But if you guys have been dating for some time, or you guys are planning to have a long life together, it definitely makes sense to be sharing these things, just to make sure that you guys are aligned in terms of your financial goals. But let's hear some of these other comments. Someone said, Jiggy, bo mashonisa are repossessing your furniture or car because your blacklisted spouse took a loan from them and is unable to pay. Now you're dealing with multiple debts that were made without your knowledge because you didn't care about your partner's payslip. Sketchy. Yeah, very sketchy, because now you don't know how much your partner earns, and you have this own figurative value, so you assume, yeah, I can live it up, gonna get my Louis Vuitton and travel abroad all the time, but maybe your partner is literally struggling and taking loan after loan just to like feed your lifestyle. And then someone else says, and that's exactly how they manage to buy cars and rent out apartments for sides, I'm assuming side chicks. And I 100% agree with this. The fact that you don't know how much your person is making and you don't really know how they're like allocating their finances means there are certain things that you don't know of, okay? I've always asked myself, you know, when people on Instagram get surprised with cars, I'm always like, how did you get surprised? Like, obviously, as a couple or as a married couple, my assumption is that you guys probably would have spoken about, oh, we need a new car, there's a baby, we need a bigger car. And maybe your husband can surprise you with like the type of car. Maybe you thought you were going to get a T-Cross, and maybe he surprises you and gets you a Tiguan. Or you thought you were getting a Volvo and he surprises you with the Range Rover. But the fact that the conversation still happened, you know, you still know that you are getting a car. It is going to be an SUV. It is going to be financed. You know, that's something you know. What shocks me is when people get a brand new cars and the other person is like completely shocked, like out of their mind, like they do not even know that they were searching for a car. That worries me a lot. Obviously, it looks cute on Instagram when you're all shocked and happy, but I don't think the first time you should be hearing that your family is buying a car is at the showroom. That is a recipe for disaster. But again, my opinion, if it works for you, that's okay. There are different ways to surprise your partner without making such big financial decisions without them, especially if you're married in community of property. So like, you know, if you really want to surprise your wife with the car, don't surprise them with the whole car, but like instead of you only getting the car next month like she thought, or like you discussed with the salesperson, ask the salesperson, can we bring it in 2 weeks early? You know, now it's a surprise because they know we're getting a car eventually, but I didn't expect the car today. Exciting. Okay, those are type of surprises that you do. Not, I didn't even know we were buying a car as a family, so yay. Someone else said, as long as bills are paid and we have assets and savings that we can jointly access, it's all good to me. So this person is kind of on the fence. They're just saying they don't really care much about how much they're earning as long as they have access to that cash. But my question is, if you don't know how much they're earning, how do you know you're actually accessing all of it? And I'm not saying you need to access all of it, but just know, are you putting in everything? Because maybe you are putting in your entire salary into your joint account. I've done a video on joint accounts if you are curious about what these are and not sure if you should do it. I'm on the fence, it depends. So check that out if you are interested. And also we'll put a link in my description box so you can check it out later. But when it comes to joint accounts, you don't even know if the person is contributing their all. Or maybe you guys are like, you're only going to contribute 50%. But do you even know what 50% of their salary is if you don't know the full thing? So I understand this person, they are trying to seem like they are aware, but I still think it's a bit curtained. Okay, someone else said, I have never seen my husband's payslip. I trust what he tells me. Our lives are comfortable and he has given me no reason not to trust him. And that's okay. And that is perfectly fine. And that's why I'm saying, that's why I don't want to meddle in people's marriages, because I myself am not married, okay? So it's easy to poke holes from outside, so I will take that. But I also just want to say, this is just not the way I would operate. I need to know. I need to know everything. And it's not a trust thing. I just want to know, what can we do? I have big goals. I have big things I want to do. And I want to see, is this person going to take me there? Or am I going to drive? Or are we both driving? Like, what's happening? Because right now, I could be planning to live in Sea Point or Camps Bay in a beautiful mansion, driving a Range Rover, and on other days, like a Maybach and all of that. But, you know, in my head, I might assume I'm not paying anything. But, like, is that realistic then? And then lastly, last comment is, that's how they end up visiting their husbands in jail or bury them when they are killed in shootouts with the police. If you know your husband earns a certain salary, your eyes will be open when he starts buying expensive stuff that is way out of his earnings. And I agree. I fully agree. And I also just want to say, sometimes I think people choose the I don't want to see Ray Charles type of thing because it gives them peace of mind. The less they know, the better. So obviously when I am talking about this, I'm not referring to relationships that have like unequal power dynamics. You know, so if someone is like a sugar baby and there's a sugar daddy, I obviously don't expect the sugar daddy to be disclosing to their sugar baby. That relationship is purely transactional. That sugar baby is there for the money. So I don't think the sugar daddy would be disclosing, you know, because next thing someone else has a bigger balance and the sugar baby leaves. Or even if there's like crime, drugs, or history of abuse, I don't expect those relationships to have this form of communication, because the way that they thrive or the way the the powerful one thrives is knowing that the other one has limited sight of what's happening. But in a balanced relationship, in a relationship where you guys share everything, when you choose your life partner, you are basically choosing your best friend. This is your do or die, your ride or die, your Bonnie and Clyde. This is the person you procreate with potentially. Like, if you guys see each other naked and you guys have kids together, you guys join families, what do you mean a payslip is where you draw the line? Then why are you guys having sex with no condoms on? You know? On the fun side though, because this was tweeted by a lawyer, they told him to relax and have fun because these are potential future clients. You know, basically people are saying they're going to divorce eventually. Personally, I know I want to touch on money and relationships in the future because I was a bit scared when I saw some of these comments. Obviously not all relationships are the same and I am very aware of that. But like most people are not going to be marrying ridiculously rich people. So it's important for normal people like us to actually talk about these finances. If you have goals and dreams to retire by 50, can your partner do the same? Are you guys going to be fine? Is this part of their goal, or are they fine working until 65? These are things you need to be talking about. You can't be surprised. It's like, I know a couple where the wife assumed the husband had medical aid because she had medical aid, so they both just had their own independent medical aids, and then when the husband got sick, the husband did not have medical aid. And I was like, well, how did you not know that? Like, as a married person, how do you not know if your spouse has medical aid or not? So yeah, guys, just be very careful. I know a lot of us do this I'm just a girl, or you're like a damsel in distress, out of fun. But in the long run, just make sure it's not hurting you. Make sure you are protected. And also, guys, there are people who hide assets. So you might think your husband is rich, but maybe they're buying all their assets through someone else and they actually have nothing to their name. So there's just a whole lot that can be unpacked from this topic, and I'm going to stop talking right now because yeah. Also, I just want to say relationships are different, and I completely understand this, and that's why I also say I don't judge people for the way that they do things, because in some households a person can pay 100% of the fees, like the husband or whatever, and that's because the woman is in charge of everything else, like the homemaking, the cleaning, the cooking, the laundry. Like, they do that without a hassle, without a complaint. That's just the way they have implicitly agreed. That's fine. I, on the other hand, am not very big on domesticated chores. I hate doing laundry. I hate cleaning. I love cooking. I love cooking and I love baking and all of that. But you know, the cleanup after, not really my favorite thing to do. And if I can, I'll always try to pay someone to do it, or I'll ask for help, okay? So in my instance, I cannot expect someone to pay for all expenses when I'm not even going to be taking care of the house, okay? But also, I want you guys to remember that if you are doing all of these homely duties, make sure that you are getting compensated for it, because you know, you could have been doing something else with your time as opposed to cleaning and cooking and looking after the kids and all of that. That could have been a whole job. You could have gotten a promotion at work, but because you spent so much time making sure your house was in order, you didn't really get that promotion. So make sure that you know the terms are clear and that you and your partner are aligned on the type of responsibilities that you guys are handling. Don't allow the person who is bringing in the money to assume that they are the biggest contributors in the house. You are also contributing. Take a week off. Show them what the house will look like if you're not there. They will see that all those socks that they drop when they come into the house, so suddenly the tie that they left on the table last night is not on the cupboard in the morning because you were secretly picking up after them and making sure things are in order. That way you guys will actually value each other, and even though it's not 50-50 financially, it is still a 50-50 household because you're both pulling in the weight. Alright, I am done with this conversation.
I'm done. Cut the show. I'm done. Take me off. Take me off.
If you are enjoying these stories, make sure you tip me with a like, and if you have any questions or comments or you want to engage, because this is a two-way thing, make sure you're dropping me a comment and letting me know what you think. I have also left the links to these tweets in my description box, so if you want to go see further, to see more comments, happy for you to do so. I know you're gonna have a chuckle the same way I did. Story number 3, there is an app that this lady recommended, and it's about reviewing websites. She started off the tweet by saying, I actually found an app that has me earning money by reviewing brands, and obviously it got a lot of traction. It had over 250 bookmarks and 111k views, so obviously a lot of us were keen to see who type will show us, you know, we also want to do this. It sounds like easy money. So people are asking for plugs, and she's like, check DM, and then she eventually, you know, quotes her original tweet. She's like, guys, please wait for me to get my withdrawal funds before we can say it really gives me money. I've done my withdrawal. So she had processed on the portal that she wants her money, and then she showed us how much she had. She had $272 and she withdrew 252. Let me just convert. That's about 4,662. So she was waiting for an amount of 4,600. That's a lot of money just on your phone. That's a lot of money. So she's like, that's how much I had. I didn't enter any bank accounts. I used eWallet. Easy way to do it. As soon as I get it, I'll give a heads up. Cool. So, you know, obviously I love money. I love money as much as the next person. So I was like, oh, let us get into this. I bookmarked. Okay.
Dada, why? Why, Dada, why?
This is business.
This is my sweat.
I know, but I did business.
Shut up! Shut up!
This is business.
Hey.
And then she explained, she's like, there's a lot of reading that you do, but you end up enjoying it. And then the name of the platform is Brand Review. Okay. She gives us the link. What do? I jump on it. I'm like, listen, if people are making money on the internet, I'm not gonna not make money, okay? But also it was part of my research, okay? So whenever I see these cool things, I like to do them myself, so that if I want to recommend them to you guys, I can tell you that, yeah, I've personally worked on it and it has personally worked for me. Cool. So I went onto this website. It seems pretty basic. When you sign up, all you need is your email address and your name, nothing else. I was like, okay, I like that it's not very invasive. They didn't want like your number or banking details. I'm very protective with my banking details. Like, I don't just go putting things in there. And the fact that she said she withdrew e-wallets, I was like, yes, I definitely wouldn't mind an e-wallet. Fine. Get on the app. They kind of explain what you do, and then they'll say, okay, tell us about this brand. Does their logo look nice? I'm like, huh? No, their logo doesn't look nice. It was like a Chinese company, and then afterwards it was like a car company like Nissan. There were random Wikipedia pages that kept coming up, and obviously you just read. You'd read a bit just to, you know, familiarize yourself. I even saw HSBC, which is one of the banks I used when I was working abroad. So I was like, oh, this is so cool. Like, I'm seeing brands that I have seen outside of, you know, the internet. HSBC, I'm banked with them. Nissan, people have cards from Nissan, so this seems like it's doing great. Okay, I keep rating, but then suddenly I keep getting the same type of companies over and over. But I'm like, it's okay, maybe the system is trying to catch me out. I keep rating the same way because, you know, if I said the Nissan brand, it's okay, I just don't like their logo. I'm gonna say that again. Cool. Gumnandi. And when you join, guys, another thing, they actually give you free money. I think they give you like a free $20 to start you off. So that was exciting because they're like, oh, okay, I'm already working with a balance, but that should have been a red flag. But I'm like, okay, I'm already working with a balance. Quickly, my balance climbs. Now I'm sitting on $35. I've made $15 on this site. Hi. At this point, I send it to my partner. I'm like, listen, I think I'm making money here. I told you guys, we all go through it. I send it to my partner. I'm like, listen, I think I'm making money here. I sent it to him, and I was doing this. I was actually at the doctor. I was waiting for my appointment, so I had time. I was killing time. So I'm like, you know, this is what rich people are like. You know, even when they're waiting for their doctors, they're making money. Tap, 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 tap. I'm having the time of my life. And then I go back to the tweet because now I want to see if this lady has updated whether she's received the money or not. I read the tweet the previous day, tried it out the next day, so I kind of want to see if she's gotten her money. Shock and horror. People start laughing. People are like, you won't get it. You won't get your money. And that's the thing I enjoy about Twitter, the fact that people have already tried a lot of the things that you're still going to try, and if you tweet about it, people can tell you upfront, doesn't work. Someone was like, you won't get it. They'll tell you to pay taxes first of $32 and then they release your money. So obviously if you have a balance of $272, okay, and she withdrew $252 is a lot of money. So if someone says pay $32 just so you can get $252, Come on, that makes sense. I don't mind paying a little money, just a young tax, okay? You know, we get taxed on salaries as well, so why is this different? I don't mind. But this is a scam, guys, because the fact that you have to pay first before you get money should tell you that it is a scam. If it wasn't a scam, they should have been able to take that $32 of tax off of the payment that they were going to give you. So they should have been able to give you like $222 instead of $252. Oh wait, $32 so it would be $220. Yeah, sorry, quick math. But, you know, obviously when I saw this, I realized that this is not going to make me rich. And I had to tell my partner, never mind, it's a scam. So yeah, that's story number 3. Story number 4, the bank insured the wrong car. So I'm gonna go to this thread. It was tweeted by Karabo Didi. She's actually quite a popular creator. And she says, our experience with insuring our Jaguar SVR through Nedbank Insurance has been a nightmare. I urge everyone to avoid this insurance. And then she kind of tells us her story. I just want to say before I continue that this is not a Nedbank insurance specific issue. This is just insurance in total, okay? I've done multiple videos where I say make sure that you've got this covered if you're insured, so make sure you check it out. I will leave a link in my description box as well where you can actually just remind yourself of the things you need to do if you have car insurance, because a lot of people will get their claims rejected over stupid things that they really could have done, but like the insurance company is not going to remind you because they have an incentive to not pay, okay? So just make sure that you're not sleeping. Anyways, let me tell you the story. The story was completely different though, and it could have happened to anyone on any insurance. Cool. In November 2022, we replaced one of our old cars with the Jaguar and decided to obviously insure it. Since our home bond is with Nedbank, we thought it would be convenient to get a quote from them. They offered us a discounted rate and we thought our car was properly insured. However, in November 2023, almost a year later, we were unfortunate enough to be caught in the hailstorm in KZN. When we tried to make a claim, we discovered that the Nedbank agent had mistakenly insured our old car, a Mercedes, instead of the Jaguar. It has now been 3 months and our car remains unfixed. While Nedbank has acknowledged their mistake, they are demanding that we accept a 65% increased premium and pay the difference in premiums for the past year before they will even consider fixing our car. This situation is incredibly unfair and unjust. We trusted Nedbank Insurance to properly insure our car, and now we are left with a damaged car and unreasonable demands. We took it for granted that a reputable bank and insurance company like Nedbank is capable of making such a big error. Retrospectively, we should have checked the schedule. I would encourage you guys to do the same when getting your belongings insured. Cool. And then yeah, and then she kind of, you know, posts some screenshots, but that's basically what happened. And guys, I know insurance will try bury you in papers. They will send you lots and lots of policy wordings and terms and conditions. But guys, if you are not in the mood to read all of that, just make sure you are reading your schedule. Make sure that you understand and that you are happy with what they've put there. Be it your name, your ID number, where you live, the type of car, you know, all of that. Just make sure you're happy with it, because once Wolangana error and then they say, oh no, we can't repair it because we incorrectly insured you. So for example, for this person, because they insured a Mercedes, which is probably older because the Jaguar was their newer car, their premium was probably slightly lower than what they should have been paying had they been insuring the Jaguar. However, now Nedbank, even though they were in error or their representative was in error, they are now saying before we even entertain the claim, realize they can still reject the claim, but before we even entertain it, we need you to actually pay back all the money or all the amounts that we've missed out on that you should have been paying, because this car of yours is bigger, newer, nicer, whatever the case may be. And I've actually heard of a similar story that happened to someone that I know, where they were on a student card. Okay, you know how when we're all in students or we're studying, we get a student bank card? Fine, this person got a student bank card, and I guess the bank charges were super low on that student card, and they started working and the bank didn't really realize, and they were just getting their money into their bank account still normally. I mean, a bank account is the same, it's my money, whatever. Cool. And then what happened was, like 10 years later, I think they needed to do something, so they went physically into the bank And then obviously when the bank sees you physically, they can see that, no man, this person is working. I think they might have also gone in uniform, so they were like, oh, you work? The person's like, yeah. They're like, well, you're on the wrong type of account. You're still on a student account, but you actually work. And it was like, okay. It's like, not really ever like said anything. And the thing is, the banks assume that people are gonna go there and notify them of all their life changes. Oh, by the way, I'm working. Oh, by the way, I've got a kid now. Did I tell you that I got a gold tooth? Oh, I also went to, like, we're not gonna do that to the bank, okay? But anyways, the bank kind of made it their customer's problem. They were like, because you've been paying such low fees because we assumed you were a student but you haven't been for the last 10 years, you need to pay back all of the bank charges that we would have charged you over 10 years. Now guys, bank charges add up, okay? I for one, like, if I think of my bank charges, I think my bank charges are what, 300 times 12 times 10. That would have been 36,000. Like, if I was using the incorrect bank type, that would have been 36,000. Are you crazy? But obviously I don't think this person was paying that much. Let's just say 100 rand, just to be, you know, still 12k. Ain't no way I'm paying 12,000 rand just because you guys made a mistake and you guys didn't call me to update. The thing is, your card expires every 4 years. Why did they keep sending her a bank card that's a student card? They think this person just never finished school. It seems like it was really the bank's issue. But guys, in such cases, please make sure that you are reading your documents, because you really don't want to be stuck in situations like this. And also make sure you are fighting, okay? This person had to come to Twitter and tell us the story, and obviously a lot of us retweeted and raised awareness, and I think eventually they did get helped, and like Nedbank did fix their issue and they weren't like charged back pay. But it sucks that now to get proper help you kind of need to be, you know, throwing your toys out of the cart, or, you know, making them trend on social media. That really sucks, because it's also going to get to a point where companies don't care, okay? People are going to complain online anyway, so they're just not going to care. So I hate that. All right, cool, that's it for story number 4. Alright, let's move on into story number 5, the last one. Friends that don't pay back money. So this person tweeted, imagine you loaned 3,000 rand to your friend last year, and since then she has refused to pay you back, which has really deteriorated your friendship. You asked her to just pay 1,000 rand and forget the rest because you are in a financial crisis. Your friend then says she can only get you 500 rand since that is all she has. You felt like you had no other option but to accept it, so you eventually gave her your account details to send the amount directly to your bank account. You woke up the next morning, checked your account, and you had 5,000 rand in it. You kept staring at the screen in disbelief, but it was indeed 5,000 rand. You grabbed your phone and found 73 missed calls from your friend and an additional 37 text messages begging you to transfer back 4,500 since she was only meant to send you 500 rand and mistakenly added an extra 0. What do you do? Here are the options. 1. Send back 4,500 rand. 2. Take your full 3,000 rand. Basically, you'd only send back 2,000. Or 3, keep the entire 5,000 rand. Let's talk about it. Let me know in the comments, what are you doing? Are you, number 1, sending back 4,500 rand? Are you, number 2, taking your full 3,000 rand and sending back the rest? Or 3, are you keeping the entire amount of money because basically this person and this is your money, so you know it's your money plus interest. It's been a year, right? Yeah, you borrowed this person money last year. Personally, I don't really know what I do. I kind of have like a thing where I don't like borrowing people money. I just feel like it messes up relationships. Don't ask me for money because I also don't ask you for money. But in cases where I do give people money, I usually give people money like that I don't mind not getting back. Obviously, I'm not saying if you borrow money from me, don't pay it back. Like, pay it back. If you owe me, pay it back. And just know you not paying me back is also showing, you know, a sign of bad faith. I will never ever borrow you money again because I couldn't trust you with 200 rand. So I'm not going to trust you with 2 million. Okay? But yeah, it's just, I always give people money that I'm willing to let go. I never forget. So I will always remember. So even when you're asking for things, even when you're commenting, I will always look at you like, This person is living a nice life based off of my 200 rand. So yeah, don't borrow money from me, guys. I'm not the person you want to borrow from. Cool. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed wild financial stories. Let me know if there are any that you relate to. Let me know if there's any that you actually saw on the TL yourself. So I'm just giving you revision. And if this is your first time on Wild Financial Stories, I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you tune in again in the future. And guys, I will check you guys later. And if you're bored, make sure you check out the previous Wild Financial Stories. I know you're gonna have a great laugh. Or you can check out this playlist where I have all of the Wild Financial Stories piled up just for you to binge on. And thank you so much to everyone who has shared in the past. And if you do have a story to share, do drop us an email at nokuhle.templates@gmail.com. I will leave it in the description box just so you know the spelling. And I cannot wait to share your story anonymously, of course. Alright, cool. Bye.